Hello everyone, hello members, hello Patreons. If you're seeing this, it's an early access. If it gets too deep, there might be an extended just for yourselves. But I think it's going to be, just this part will be an early access, not an exclusive. But let's see how it goes, okay? Today we're looking at, and I'd like to thank you for your support while we try to grow the members and the community. Make sure you check in regularly what's coming up for you. It includes the subscribers as well. Thank you for your support with the challenges that I'm facing on the platform. So, back in August, on the 27th of August of this year, 2024, Mariah Carey, the famous singer, lost her mum and her sister on the same day. And when I heard of it, I was like, okay, alarm bells. Now, before I used to do readings on this platform and deep into states and energy probing into states, I don't mean like states in the US, I mean deep states. And I, just for the platform, I don't mean the deep state itself, but whatever. Disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only. Please use your own fact finding and discernment, just in case it is up and an open reading. So yeah, I feel quite depleted and my head is really, really hurting from the cases I've been reading on. And I thought, let me change a bit of the energy while I still give you content. Probably also what I'm tuning into. I think P. Diddy's is very dark because I put a vote, so I'm like starting to prepare, but it's extremely dark. And if you didn't catch previously my reading on Justin Bieber and also my previous predictions, I mentioned there's going to be a can of worms that come out. I mentioned it last year. I mentioned it in Bieber's reading about trauma he's faced. I've mentioned it in other readings and in global psychic predictions, P. Diddy, okay? So this is not a surprise to me, but this is going to be very complex, his case, if we do a reading on it. Anyway, Mariah Carey, who I loved her music, okay? Bit of a diva, but when I was younger, I really, really loved her. And you can't deny her talent in comparison to now, I guess, the talent that comes out. So, I mean, I tried to look up how her mother passed, the matter of death. I can't see it. And I've just said the D word. I can see her sister was 63 called Alison, and it was organ failure, and she was already in a hospice. So organ failure is an alarm bell for me. Already in a hospice kind of balances it out as opposed to being in her own home. So it says that she was really unwell already, and she's in other care where there should be monitoring if anything or anyone goes in or stuff like that. The mother, I don't know anything. I couldn't find the matter of expiry or Xing or whatever. And her name was Patricia. So I thought, let me do a reading because I felt, is this ritual? Is this contractual? It's just very, but then, you know, God can do these things. And maybe there was an agreement between them. I'm just getting this download between the mum and daughter. I don't know how close they were. As one passed, the other wanted to just go at the same time, right? Otherwise, I think there's an agreement from the dark side of the industry, which is, I presume, what a lot of people are probably reading on, regardless if they believe that or not. So let's see the energies surrounding both of their passings. Energies surrounding, please, Spirit. Energies surrounding. Energies surrounding. deck, Nine of Wands. It's interesting because I think some of you might have thought the devil's going to come out. Here we've got communication that someone wanted to pass in a very peaceful way, okay? There was some kind of teamwork here. So I wonder if there was, you know, if I'm failing, if my organs are failing, again, this is why it would be helpful for me to know how the mother passed. I could elaborate further, but I just don't know. Just help me end it. I don't want to go through like 4 days of things failing, one organ after the other, and if it's the mother, whatever she was going through, okay? Just so that I can just release myself from the tie on the plane here, on the 3D plane, okay, when I'm not very well. Energies surrounding this, please, Spirit. 2 more cards. I want to say 3, but 2 came out, so 2 more cards. Energies surrounding this, please, Spirit. I can see the Star card. I'm not going to take it. Strength, okay. This is really interesting, right? So the need for strength and the pentacles here, very, you know, like I said, I do think there is something here where if I'm failing, don't make me go through those 4 days. Just put me out. But I feel like there is a letter. There is something around this, and there could be money involved, all right? So let's just ask a bit more directly. I'd love to know if any of them were dating someone new. Was anyone a Leo placement? Okay. Show me the sister's energy on the days up to the passing. Show me the sister's energy on the days up to the passing. I don't know if this is in reverse. I'm putting it as it's come out. You know, reversals are not very good sometimes, as you all know. But here we've got the home, but the home is showing here. She wasn't at the home, okay? She wasn't at the home. She was obviously in a hospice. We've got the Five of Cups in reverse here as well, and we've got the Queen of Cups. There is a dissociation here that I'm getting, okay? It's kind of like she's suddenly dissociated herself. What's interesting is there is definitely more to this. We've got the with the Five of Cups reversed, we've got like a false narrative, a false return here. Maybe she was given hope that you'll return to your house one day. I wonder if there was a bit of dementia as well. I'm feeling that, some kind of brain cognitive kind of dementia or something. But there's a false hope here, and I think it built a false emotional hope as well. When we've got when I see the Queen of Cups as well with the other cards, it's kind of like there's someone in the energy that is dishonorable and not to be trusted, okay? So that's very interesting. Can we use the same deck to see 4 cards for the mother's passing and leading up to the mother's passing? Patricia. So here we've got a bit of alarm bells when we get here, yeah? I don't think this Queen of Cups is to be trusted. Mother was in kind of like a hang. I'd love to know how she passed away. Queen of Swords. Told to take this as additional lovers. Interesting, we had the Knight of Cups in the first read, remember? Choices. I definitely think that someone, there is a letter, let me go, do something to let me go, okay? The mother here is There was medical attention, okay? She wasn't well, okay? Her health was in like a stagnation, right? Kind of energy. But then there was something that was moving forward. And I feel like it was moving forward beyond her control, which again is interesting. What I find interesting is these two over each other. So this not to be trusted woman is moving forward regardless. And here we've got a white and a black energy. And I don't necessarily believe it's to do with Mariah. And then we've got the lovers. We had the Knight of Cups in the first one, and I was wondering if someone's involved with a boyfriend or something. But this is also choices, okay? So here, there could have been something also to do with the mother, you know, in terms of internal organs, or for example, something to do with her stomach, or something. It's interesting. I was just going to come out with a word that's in a foreign language, which is very, very interesting. So I wonder if it comes out that there's someone from the country that I was kind of, a word was going to come out there. Let's just check something. So the top row was the sister, and the bottom row, we got, I feel like there's two cards that could be of a concern. I mean, why would we see the stagnation? My throat is getting tickly. And then the moving forward, the medical practitioner moving forward. Okay, so okay, so there is a secret behind what happened. Okay, so there is a secret, there is a story not told behind what happened. Let's just do another confirmation. And a question, okay. Yes, and I do believe Mariah Carey knows that secret, okay. Part of it, either the mother or sister, I'm asking them both, were part of this choice and decision. So maybe it could have been a long time ago, and it could have been a contract, okay? It could have been a contract, which I feel like, I'm going to get into it actually, no, just hold on. Okay, so they were part of this decision. One of them was, at least. It's not a contract in the industry, okay? It's not a contract via the music industry. Let's check something else. I looked at the bottom of the deck. The bottom of the deck says there is a contract or an agreement. It's not via the music industry. What was my question? There was a contract. Is there a contract agreement on this? Yes. Okay, I get a yes. Okay, so the cards are telling me that they speak to me in the meaning of the yes. Okay, so, but it's not via the music industry, so I don't know. It's a contract. So first I asked about the music. It's a contract of fame or an agreement around fame. So could this be a side of ritual, a white witch, a dark witch, some kind of yes. It's kind of like someone who has power. It could be like a witch, a spell. It could be an agreement. Now, I believe J-Lo's had a white witch that's helped her, aided her, but the person that truly aided J-Lo, including that person, which I believe she met her white witch after, was P. Diddy, right? He really drove her to fame. Just look at her most famous times were P. Diddy. So when he says that he can get someone up there, he could get someone up there. And then I believe she had the white witch to help her keep going, but then that's no longer there. So here I've got, there could be kind of like a spellbound, I don't want to get into, I did say ritual, but I want to see if there is in a further question. You know, when I'm pinpointing these things, I like to ask R constantly, not just to go with the first thing, but you know, there is a wheel that timing was coming up, that an ending was going to happen, a grieving was going to happen around this. There is there is an agreement, but it wasn't part of the music industry agreement, or it wasn't part of like her record label, as you can say. It wasn't from them. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to take it like this. I wanted 2 cards. What was my question? The question was, there is an element of ritual. Okay, there was an element of ritual. Okay, so I'm confirming that. Yeah. So it's one of the organizations behind the scenes, the rings, etc. It's an agreement for her fame via that. Okay. All right. So, and one of them, if not both, knew the secret. Okay. She definitely knew the secret. One second. It included a spellbound. It did include a witch or a because ritual can be different to a witch. Ritualistic can be what you do with the numbers, the unaliving of this kind of stuff, right? It's a ritual. What you're going to do with those, doing it on a certain date, then doing markings, etc. A witch could be involved in that, but a witch is more or less a spell binding that, you know, is less about the contract of this. The ritual would be about the contract. The ritual or the people here is an organization. It could be like, you know, that triangle organization. It could be like a ringmaster at the end, but it's not her record label as a record label contract. Okay. It's the darker side of the industry. And also we have the Emperor. With these 2 cards, I'm getting a confirmation at some stage there is a spell binding by a witch involved. Okay. So there's 2 elements here. Okay. Right. So now I want to see I'm just getting that, you know, it seemed so far away that they didn't think it would go through. Like, do you know what I mean? She didn't think it would go through. It was kind of like it seemed so far away. And I'm also getting like the ages seem to be, back then, they seem to be really old. Like, I understand that she didn't get on with her sister and mother, and I think that made it a lot easier. But I think also, I feel like the mother knew, like she knew it. And it was kind of like, I wouldn't want to live that. One of them knew about this, right? If not both, one of them knew about this. At the same time, they have this thing that if they are entering like failure, they don't want like one day to be without a liver working, the next day for the kidney not to work, and then eventually to the heart. They just want to, as it's going through and the science says you've got 4 days because each of your organs is failing, they just want to be put to rest. One of them has done that, whatever it is, and it could be like the sister. There was like some choice there. The thing is with the mother, I feel like it's a bit more of a secret, and it could be tied into this. I don't know what her matter of death is. Let me just pick up this card. Okay. I have to change the question. Okay. Yeah. So I first asked, did Mariah agree to this? And that would have been for her sister and mother. And I definitely get she agreed in terms of her mother. Okay. So that's why I said I need to change the sister. I'll ask now. Do you know if my father knows the readings I do? He'll probably tell my mother, he'll be like, your daughter's lost the plot. And then he'll grab me. God bless him. May he rest in peace. But he'll probably be like, Zain, Dad, what is this? What is this that you're doing? It's not good. Did you lose your mind? So, okay. Just brought a couple of tears to my eyes, but yeah. So did she agree to, in terms of her sister, did she agree in terms of her sister? Did she agree to in terms of her sister? I'm going to have to hear your comments, right? It's interesting because I can see the star card. It's one of the cards I wanted, but I'm going to go for pull out or bottom of the deck. And I've just seen the world as well. I'm going to ask again because I kept seeing the three cards I've asked for. I kept seeing it, but they were not popping out. And I think that's where I wasn't getting the answer the first time. So the mother, yes, agreed to. The sister, there's something about the sister. So I'm getting a yes, but there is something tied in with the sister that, so it wasn't her choice. It wasn't like a choice she could include in terms of her sister. I feel like it was, over time, and she didn't have a choice, or I don't want to say a voice, but it was kind of like she had no option. Okay, she had no option to say yes or no, and it was kind of like an option on there, and it was kind of like her waiting over time to see if her sister was going to be included, which is interesting because that's maybe where the ritual part came into place, and she wasn't really aware of, but she was aware of, but maybe she wasn't aware of the sacrificial side of whatever they wanted to do it for, and more aware of the spellbinding witch kind of side. Does that make sense, everyone? Okay, so at the time of signing, or agreeing, there was nothing that she thought that, I hope this doesn't go through, that was haunting her throughout the life. Okay, so very much aware of it. What else can we ask? pull one more card. Interesting, same cards. Do you know, in terms of her mum's passing, there doesn't seem to be much grief. But it's kind of like, I think she thought it took longer than it was supposed to take. There was something about the medical attention that was received and the contract or the agreement in place. She felt like her mother was in not a well condition for quite some time, but this whole agreement didn't move forward as fast as that she thought it would initially. And I don't mean like she wanted it really, really fast, but it was kind of like, it didn't move forward. Like when her mum must have not been well for quite some time, and she thought it would have happened a little bit longer. She received communication about this, and I think she received communication about this from the medical side first. Let me just clarify that. Same card. She received the information from the medical side first, okay? And it was kind of like, at the time of receiving this information, she felt quite challenged by something for some reason. It was kind of like a block out for her. She realized that it was an angst of the unknown, and she suddenly felt herself between a rock and a hard place. And so did this medical practitioner. It seems like, I think both of them had like a bit of a discussion about this, okay? So now let's see, like, about it being difficult, okay? But there was definitely call between, I wonder if there's going to be something that raises, you know, something that comes out of this. But usually when there's one of those large organizations behind it, yeah, I mean, could they open it up to investigate years down the line? Let's have a look. Are you going to be on the channel when we're 80 years old? So can you remember? Remember this, putting the cards back to check about the sister. So how does she feel about the passing of the sister? Too many cards came out here. I'm going to put them back. I did see a major. 4 of Swords, 7 of Swords, 4 of Wands, and the 10 of Cups. Interesting. His sister's energy was this reversed, okay? And here we've got her sister. We've got the home, all right? It's interesting. These cards are interesting when they come up like this, you know. I'm just trying to tap in a moment. She didn't feel very defensive in terms of her sister, the plan around or what happened to her sister. If you look at both cards, I wonder if she inherits something from her sister. I mean, it's not going to be obviously more than whatever she's got, but something here. Do you know what? I think there was a lack of preparation around the sister. And that's why the reading's a bit like that when I ask about the sister. There was a lack of preparation. Yes. You know, I was saying it was a bit of a, there was a lack of preparation around the sister. And this was because she wasn't at home. So it'll be interesting to see how this was done. And there was a real need. I want to say her sister, but because I'm also reading her energy, to protect herself in terms of what is going to happen with the sister, and also protect her home. I wonder if she's frightened right now. Hang on a sec. Okay, so told to take this. Let's just put these back so we have a full deck when we this fell out on the side. Two majors. Whoa! This is her energy right now, Mariah Carey's energy right now. How is she feeling right now? How is her overall feeling? We did her mother, her sister, and how is her overall feeling? I mean, if you get these cards, you're absolutely, it's great, isn't it? You know, you're in perfect balance with life at the moment. There's a success element. I really want to say there's something around a home or an inheritance, possibly some kind of wheel changes in her favor. I wonder if when this is done, there's something extra that comes her way, but we don't know about it yet. Okay, so there's something that she's going to get in terms of a home or a foundation, an inheritance, a celebration of something we are not aware of yet, that she gets out of this as well. From what has happened becomes a completion that then changes, and there's something around a solid foundation. I know she has a solid foundation, but there's something around that we don't know yet, even those that are speculating stuff, that she's going to get out of this. Let's split the deck. Three of Pentacles. They're working together behind the scenes. Can you remember this card? Can you remember this card? Interesting. Oh, I want to keep going with questions. I'm going to leave it here. Wasn't this an interesting read? I mean, it's not an easy read. People have passed, but it kind of changes the dynamic of having to channel where someone is or stuff like that. And, you know, the questions flow. So I hope you tuned into this. You gave it a chance, even if you're not a fan or not or are a fan, but really to understand the dynamics, and also not the basis that everyone's just going to say, oh, it was a ritual. But here we've got pinpointing the mum and the sister. We've got pinpointing ritual or not ritual, other stuff, and really who can be involved. And I wonder if there's going to be a rehatching of this in the future. But I'm also getting the word sealed agreement. Split the deck. There's that sealed agreement. World as well, very strong cards. So there's something we might hear of, but I think it's going to be difficult too. But I do think we're going to have a bit of, I think in future, a little bit of like a bit more speculation, something brew up again. But yeah, this is interesting read. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care of yourselves, and I shall see you in the next one. Stay blessed, everyone. Bye for now.